This
we are
conference will now be recorded.
Physical year variant?
variant, posting period variant.
Yeah.
okay. Yes. So we created a company code. Then we assigned this company code to the fiscal year variant, and we assigned it to the posting period variant. What is the fiscal year variant? Why do we need fiscal year variant? Nobody remembers what is a fiscal year variant and why do we need that?
We need to tell the fiscal year, right? So for that.
We need to tell the system that this company code is following the April to March or yes, April to March or Jan to December financial year, right?
Yes.
So what was the company code that we created? What was the name of the company code? 4 digits characters. Nobody remembers.
ABCU and ABCI.
Yes, ABCI and ABCU, ABC India and ABC US. Right. So this is the company code that we created, and we told this company code that the city is Mumbai, which is the head office. Country would be IN, currency would be INR, and language would be English. Similarly, in ABC Group, we have two legal entities, one in India, second in US. So for US, we created this ABCU, where we said city is New York, country is US, currency is USD, and again, the language is English. Right? So we just also provided the address information. Okay, so whatever address information we have, we can provide it here. So complete address, like what is the street number, postal code, city. If you have all these details available, you have to enter all these details here. So whatever details you will be entering here, that will be used whenever you are doing any communication with the customer. For example, when you are sending the sales invoice to the customer, in the invoice, your company's name and address information will flow from here. Okay, so as of now, I kept it blank for the testing, but otherwise, whenever you are working on the actual project, make sure that all the address information is filled. So you have to ask this information from the business, like what exactly is the registered office address, so that we can enter in the system. Okay, so we created these two company codes, but creation of company code is not enough, right? We also need to tell the system why are we creating this company codes, what is the purpose. So what is the purpose of a company code? To generate the financial statements. Okay, what is a company code? Company code is a legal entity. If it is a legal entity, we need to make sure that the financial statements are created at the year end, at the month end. But now the question is, which year end? Whether my year end is December or it is March. So that depends upon which company code I'm talking about. If I'm talking about US follows the year Jan to December. If I'm talking about India follows April to March. So where can I tell the system that this company code is following April to March and ABCU is following Jan to December? That information you have to provide here in the financial accounting. Okay, so within financial accounting global settings, we will go to the ledgers. Within the ledgers, we will go to the fiscal year and posting periods. Okay, and this is where we assign our company code to fiscal year variant. Okay, so which means we'll go here and we will tell the system that for my company code, which is ABCI, I am following fiscal year variant V3. V3 means what? April to March. So India is following April to March. This V3 is the standard delivered variant which is provided by SAP. Okay, so we don't need to create anything from scratch. We can directly go and whichever companies are following April to March, we can assign V3. Okay, and whatever companies are following Jan to December, SAP has provided this K4 for them. That is a calendar year. Calendar year means Jan to December. So we also had a discussion on what is a calendar year versus what is a non-calendar year, what is a year dependent year versus what is a non year dependent year, which means independent. Okay, so can you tell me What is the difference between year dependent and year independent? Year 3 is year dependent or not?
Hello.
Yes. Yes, you are.
V3 is year dependent, sir, and K4 is year independent.
You are saying V3 is year dependent and K4 is year independent. Okay, why?
Here actually K4 starts from Jan to December. So
Mm-hmm.
in every year it should be it's a standard for SAP. For V3 it is
Mm-hmm.
specific in country India wise only. So that's why it
Mm-hmm.
is a year dependent.
No, no, it is other way
Actually,
around.
it's actually year independent means the posting periods always start and end on the same day of the year. So
Exactly.
the V3 will be year independent.
V3 is year independent and K4 is year dependent. Okay, why?
Yes.
Because in V3 we are defining that always February will have 29 days. Even if, see, when in the system we are telling that this year, every year has 29 days in the February. But if the 29 days not there at all, let's say you are talking about non-leap year, then obviously 28 posting will be the last posting. 29th will never come at all, right? So in V3 what we are saying is every February has 29 days, but that is fine because even if it has 28 days, it is within the limit that we defined in our fiscal year variant, and that is the reason it is year independent. But
Independent.
K4
Yes.
is calendar specific. K4 is calendar year. Calendar year means what? Calendar year means it will automatically take the values from the calendar. So if it is taking the values from the calendar, obviously in leap year it will have 29 days and in non-leap year it will be having 28 days. So which means it is year dependent. It is year specific. Okay, and I also shown you how to check whether it is year dependent or not. When you go to this maintain fiscal year variant, this is where this fiscal year variants are created. So if you first of all, obviously this tick whether it is year dependent or not. So this tick you can see if it is not tick, this means it is year independent. So if I go for V3, okay, let's say this is April to March and it is year independent. This means if I click on this and go for periods, I can define the periods irrespective of the year. It is not asking me for which year you want to specify the number of days. It is not asking me for which year I'm specifying the number of days, right? But if I go
Yes.
for K4 or any other fiscal year variant which is defined as year specific. So here in this system they removed this tick, but normally K4 comes with year specific. So let's try to click on this and go for periods. Okay, it is saying you cannot maintain because it is a calendar year and calendar year has a fixed number of days which already is known by the system. Maybe I'll show you this one. So one example of year specific, this one, 4Z somebody has created. So if it is year dependent, system will ask me, okay, for which year you want to define. Okay, in case of V3, it has not asked me for the year. Here it is asking for year because my definition for 2019 can be different and for 2020 can be different. That is the reason this calendar year, sorry, this year specific year is totally dependent on the year in which we are talking about the number of posting periods. Okay, so any questions on this? Are you clear now? Calendar versus non-calendar, dependent versus year independent. Okay. The next thing, the last thing that we discussed in our last session was posting periods. Now, what are posting periods? Why they are required?
So posting periods is nothing but the months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Group of accounts. Chat.
So months we already defined here in the fiscal year variant. Also, we told the system that our company code will follow April to March, and it will having 12 months. Then why we are going for the posting periods? What is additional thing in the posting period?
Posting period will help us to enable the current month or previous month, which accounting period has to follow. If I want to post it to cut particular period, and if I want to close the prior period.
So it is all about open and closing of the posting periods. So in the fiscal year variant, we told the system that there are 12 periods in a year. But out of those 12 periods, which period is open, which period is closed for postings, those information we enter in the posting period variant. Okay, so we go into the posting period variant. First, we need to create our own posting period variant. So we created one, ABCI, I think. Have you created this last time? Let's see.
Yes.
Yes, so we created the ABCI and ABCU. And for ABCI, which periods we opened? First, we assigned it to our company code. So ABCI is assigned to ABCI and ABCU is assigned to ABCU. Right, so you can see ABCI is assigned to ABCI and ABCU is assigned to ABCU. Now, if you want to tell the system that which period is open in this company code, then we have to go to the open and close posting periods. So this is where we can tell the system that for ABCI, which period is open. So system is showing only 6th month is open. 6th month means what? If we start from April, 6th is September, which is current month. So if I try to make any postings to previous months, if I try to make any postings in the month of let's say August, or if I try to make any postings in the month of October, system will throw error. Let's see if the system is throwing error or not. So in order to make the posting, normally we use this transaction FB50. I'll explain you later on. So FB50 is a transaction which allows you to post the accounting document. So first is we need to tell in which company code we want to post. So I need to change this because it is showing MA01. I will click on this company code button and I will tell I want to make the posting in ABCI. Okay. It is asking me for document date and posting date. So let's say if a user mistakenly is trying to make the posting in the August month. So 28/08/2019. Okay. Very importantly, this also needs to be changed, posting date. Okay, so now if I try to press enter, see what error we are getting. Posting period 005. Okay, 8 means 5th month is not open. How this is handled? This is handled from this configuration, what we have done just now. Because we told the system that only the 6th month is open. Right, so if you click on this message, whenever you are getting any error message in SAP, you can click on this to know what exactly is wrong. So what it is saying, it is very clearly telling you that period 005 of fiscal year 2019 is not open for the posting period variant ABCI. Okay, so what you need to do, you cannot continue processing till the time either you make the changes in the posting date or you open the 5th period. So there are several possibilities of the error. To correct the error, proceed as follow. What you need to do, check whether the posting date was entered correctly. We entered 28/08/2019. Okay, so that is one thing. Check whether the required posting period is open for the posting with account type plus. If you remember, we discussed what is account type plus. That is a main gate, right? So here, if this plus itself is not open, there is no, sorry, if this plus itself is not open, then there is no question of other accounts. So this is a important thing. This verifies whether the main gate is opened or not. So main gate itself is closed, right? It is only open for the 6th month. This is what exactly is controlled by the posting period variant. Clear on this now? What will happen if I don't maintain the, if I don't open the posting period from here? I will not be allowed to post any transaction in the months which are not opened from this screen. Okay, and that is the reason this activity needs to be carried out every month. Every monthly on maybe 1st of the month, you have to come here and you have to open the next period also. And for first 5 days, when you are also making adjustment postings in the previous month, so you can open the last month also and the new month also. So 6 to 7. But again, after 5th or 6th, you will come here and you will close 6th month also. Clear on this now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions? on what is posting period variant? Okay. If not, let's go to the next one. Now, in our last session, we discussed only period interval 1. I told you I will explain you what is period interval 2 and period interval 3 in the next session. Right? So we already discussed what is period interval 1. In the period interval 1, we are telling the system which period is open. But there are two more period intervals, period interval 2 and period interval 3. What is period interval 2? In period interval 2, normally we open special periods. Okay, if you remember, even in fiscal year variant, when we define the fiscal year variant, if I go for fiscal year variant V3, in this fiscal year variant, you can see, you can specify here how many months are there. So number of posting periods, 12. But there are number of special periods, which is 4. So what are the special periods? This is 12, which is April to March. In addition to 12, there are 4 more, which is special periods. So what is a special period?
कोई भी इन्वेस्टर्स एप्लीकेशन उनके रहते हैं हम अपना ऑडिटिंग वगैरह हो एक्सेस नहीं कर सकते हैं
नेक्स्ट 4 months में, मतलब you mean to say मार्च के बाद में next 4 months? No, your reasoning is correct. If you are not able to post something and you want to make the adjustments later on, audit adjustments, definitely this special periods are used. But what would be the date of the special periods? Going to be April of next year or what exactly? Okay, maybe any other answer? Anyone?
The posting date would be the same for the month of March, but the display on it will show as a number of posting page 13, 14, 15, what I believe.
Right.
For year-ending activities, we are opening the last 4 special periods.
Okay. Yes.
This is a 4 special period used at the after completion of financial year. So as well as auditing purpose. Hello. And
Yes.
the assessment year comes now 2020 to submit the financial statement to government. There we use these periods for any like 4 special periods. I heard that because in the financial year the 4 quarters are there, no? Any adjustments in the quarter. So for those purposes also we can use these 4 special periods. There are
no.
many reasons.
It is not for Mohammed, it is not for the quarters. Don't get confused with this quarters. It is not for quarters. It is only for the year-end adjustment. Okay, so let me explain what exactly someone has given the very good answer. See what happens. Let's say currently we are in 2019. What is the fiscal year going on? 2019, right? Now, let's say we realized our auditors, they are still working on 2018 results, financial statements. And our auditor has submitted a report. They said in 2018, you have not made this adjustment, you have to make it now. Okay, in 2018. But my 2018 year is already closed. Okay, I cannot open any of these periods. I cannot open a period from 1 to 12. I cannot open 1 to 12. Okay, but what I can do is, if I want to make any adjustments, I have to do those adjustments in these periods. SAP has provided 4 periods for the adjustment. Customers, some of the customers are only using one special period. Some customers are using all 4 periods. Okay, so now auditor has told us that, okay, you need to make this adjustment in the last year. Now all my 12 periods are closed. So what I can do is I have to use 13th period, for example. Okay, so I'll make the posting in the 13th period. Okay, but 13th period means which posting date? Posting date, someone has answered correctly. Posting date would be the month of March. Okay, system will allow. Let me give you the example. So let's say if I want to make any posting, I will go to transaction F-02. This is also accounting document posting. Okay, and let's say I am trying to make the posting in 31st/03/2019 in the month of March. Okay, the posting date is also 31st/03/2019. Now if I see my posting period variant, which periods are open? So in company code ABCI, 6th period of 2019 and 13th period of 2020. Okay, this is wrong. Normally we open for the last year. So 13th period of 2018 to 16th period of 2018. So although my normal periods are closed for 2018, okay, none of the period is open for 2018, but my special periods are still open for 2018. This is to make any kind of adjustments if I want in the previous year. Okay, so which means now if I'm trying to make a posting in 31st March 2019, see currently it is showing 6 because I have not clicked on enter. When I click on enter, system will by default pick this as 12th month of the previous year, right? So if I press enter, see it is picking 12th month. Okay, system is trying to make the posting in the 12th month of 2018. But now if I press another enter, it is saying posting period 12/2018 is not open. Right. So now the question is, if the auditor has told me now that you need to make the postings, what I'll do? So there are two options. Number one, I will go here and I'll open 12th period for 2018 from here. But that is wrong, because that is something which is not allowed by the auditors. They will not allow you to touch your normal periods. So in order to make this adjustment, what you can do is you can manually come here and you can make it 13. So as long as this date is in the March, it will allow you to enter period 13. Okay, if I press enter, it will not. Okay, I think I have not saved this till now, right? We have to save this because we just now changed it 13 of 2018, right? Let's press enter. Otherwise, we need to go out and try once again. Yeah. So now it is checking another error, which means this is. Just give me a minute. Okay, so this verification system is performed. So it is allowing me to post in the month of 13, but it is showing another error which is related to another topic. So system will allow you to post in the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th month only in March. If your posting date is March, let's say if I try to post, okay, if I try to post anything in 31st March 2019, but let's say instead of, if I try to make the posting in the current month 30/04/2019, okay, so it is by default picking 1, but if I try to make it 13, enter, it is automatically changing it. It will not allow 13th month for any other period. Okay, only for March it will allow me to use the period 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so again, what I told you, in a fiscal year there are 12 normal periods, there are 4 special periods. 12 normal periods are for either April to March or Jan to December. Once your financial year has been closed, so in our case we are in 2019, our 2018 is already closed. So in case if your auditor has told you have to make these adjustments in the previous year, now definitely you cannot open any of the normal periods, those are already closed. So in order to make those adjustment postings, what you can do is you can use the date 31st March 2019, okay, but you have to manually go and change the period to either 13, 14, 15 or 16. Okay, and if this is allowed from here, if 13, 14, 15, 16 of 2018 is open from here, then only system will allow you to make the postings to the special periods also. So this second interval is controlling which special periods are open. So in posting period variant, we have 3 intervals. First interval is for the normal periods. Second interval is for the special periods.
Vikram, I have a
Now,
question.
yes, go ahead.
What is our fiscal year here? It's 2019, 2020, right? 2019 is our fiscal year, right?
2019 is a fiscal year which is starting from April 2019 to March 2020.
Then why did you did this one 2018 in special periods? It should be
2018 means
19.
no. 2018 means the previous year. I want to make the posting to the previous year, right, which is already closed.
Okay, okay.
So my 2019 is currently running, 2018 is already closed.
Okay, got it.
And I want to make the postings in the year which is already closed. That is the reason I took 2018. Okay. Now then, why SAP has provided 4? Why not only 13? Okay, the reason is, again, I'll give you another example, same way. So you submitted the results, last year results, okay, and now your auditors have told you you have to make the adjustments. So you made the adjustments in the 13th period. After the auditor adjustment, you submitted this financial statements to your management. Management is again told there are some additional adjustments required. So again, if there is only one period available, 13, you will make the postings in the 13th period. Again, after the management, you submitted the results to the tax authorities. They also suggested some adjustments. Again, if you post in the 13th period, so maybe after 2 years, if I ask you, there are many adjustments which are posted. Can you tell me which adjustments were told to you by auditors, which were told to by management, and which were told by the tax department? We don't have any bifurcation, because if we are booking everything in the 13th month, then definitely we will not be able to bifurcate which adjustments are related to audit, which adjustments are related to management, which are related to tax authorities. So that is the reason SAP has provided the flexibility of 4 special periods. So what you can do is, whatever adjustments are recommended by management, you post in the 13th month, 13th period. Whatever adjustments are recommended by auditors, put it into 14th. Whatever adjustments are recommended by tax authorities, put it in the 15th. Right? So you can use 4 special periods, but again, it totally depends upon the customers. I have seen some customers who say, okay, although SAP is providing 4, but I am happy with 1 itself. So whatever adjustments are coming from tax, auditors, management, they will be only using 1 special period. Okay, so don't get confused. Normally, this is very common question asked in the interviews also. What are the special periods? And normally, the first answer that comes to our mind is every quarter have 1 special period. That is not the case. All these 4 special periods which are available, those are for the financial year closing. They are not for the quarterly basis. It is not like first period will be used for the first quarter. No, you can only make the posting in the last month of the year. You cannot make the posting in first quarter like April, May, June. It doesn't mean that if I am using the first special period, I'll be able to post in June. No, postings can be only done in the last month. Okay, irrespective of which posting period variant you are using, or irrespective of which special period you are using. Are you using 13, 14, 15, or 16? All of them will be allowing you to make the posting in the last period only. Okay, you cannot use the special periods for any other posting date except the last period. Clear now? Clear about the special periods? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, now the next one is, then what is this third period interval? So now if some of you are already experienced guys, and if you worked on SAP ECC system, okay, in SAP ECC, this period interval third is not there at all. Okay, this is only available in SAP S/4HANA. Okay. What is the reason? If I ask you, this is a screen OB52. The transaction code for this screen is OB52. If you directly want to go to this screen without going for this complete SPRO path, what you can do is simply you can write OB52 here. It will take you to opening and closing the posting periods. So if I say ABCI, It will show me which periods are open and which periods are closed, right? So in ECC, this OB52 was used to control the financial postings. If I want to make any postings in FI, I can only make those postings if my period is open from here. But apart from FI, there is a CO component also, right? If I want to make the CO postings, then it was not checking from OB52. Any idea what was the transaction code in ECC for CO related postings? If I want to make the postings in CO in ECC, which was the transaction to control which period is open, which period is closed? Anyone with previous experience? Meenal, Vaibhav? Okay, in order to control the CO related postings, the transaction code was OKP1. OKP1 was a transaction which will allow you to change the period lock for controlling area. Okay, which means for CO module. So in ECC, what was happening is FI and CO, these were two separate modules. Okay, they were completely independent of each other. If you want to do the postings in FI, go to OB52. If you want to control the postings from CO, go to OKP1. Now in S4HANA, SAP has merged these two components. Okay, so they are no longer separate components. They are merged. Even the master data we will discuss in detail. Many things are same. You don't need to create anything separately for FI and CO, right? And that is the reason SAP has provided the third period interval. This is only for the CO postings. So first interval is for normal postings in FI. Second period interval is for the special postings in the special periods for FI, and third period interval is only for the CO postings. Okay, CO postings which are triggered in CO controlling module. Okay, this is very important. Whatever things we discussed till now, although we discussed only around 1.5 hours in the system, but if you are planning to write the certification exam or whenever you will be appearing in the interviews, these are very common questions. Okay, at least you can expect 3 to 4 questions on the exam on these topics, on the fiscal year variant, on the company code, on the posting period variant, which posting period interval is used for what purpose, what is the maximum number of normal periods that I can have in the financial year. So these are very common questions. Okay, any questions on the 3 topics that we discussed till now? We discussed how to create a company code, how to assign the fiscal year variant, and how to assign the posting period variant.
Vikram, in third period intervals, so what we are going to give the periods there? Same like as regular
Yeah.
period, sixth period?
Yeah. Okay. So in the third period interval, if your periods are different for CO, see if you want to open the same 6th month for CO also, then no need to give anything here. If your CO periods are same as FI, what system will do whenever you try to make any CO posting, system will first check this period is open or not. If it is open from here, then it will not check here at all. Okay, but let's say in FI you want to open 6th period, but in CO you want to open the 5th period. Only in that case, if your CO periods that you want to open are different from FI, then only you need to maintain this information here. If you want same to be copied, then no need to maintain anything. System will automatically take whatever is available here.
Okay, Vikram.
Vikram.
Yes.
So last two columns are there, no? From period 3 and to period 3. This column related to even for new GL also.
No, as I told you, this is only for CO related postings.
Okay, it's not related to new GL, right?
No, new GL, irrespective of whether you are using classic GL or new GL, that will not make any difference to the posting period variant.
Okay.
So it is basically for the CO postings, nothing related to new GL.
Okay.
Yes,
in
Vaibhav,
HANA
you
we
were
have to
asking.
maintain menial year.
Sorry. Yeah.
Menial year. Actually, I
Yes,
want
Neil.
to ask that in HANA we have to maintain in OKP1 or only we have to maintain here only. So no need to maintain in OKP1.
See, OKP you will be maintaining only for the postings which you are generating at the CO, which is not impacting anything in FI. See, what happens is whenever you are making any postings in FI, they also go to CO.
Yeah.
And whenever you make any
Okay.
postings to
My
CO,
question is so in HANA there is no need to maintain in OKP1. If we maintain over here, so no need to maintain over there, right?
no, I'm answering the same thing. See, there are some
Yeah.
postings in CO which will not generate any postings in FI. See, what happens is whenever you make any posting in CO, it is possible that CO is also trying to update FI. Okay. If CO is trying to make any postings to FI, then this period interval is very important. But if you are making the postings in CO and they are not touching FI at all, I'll give you scenarios. What exactly are those scenarios? But just remember,
Okay.
if you are making the postings only in CO without touching FI, then OKP1 is still valid.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now we will start the next topic, and that is going to be chart of accounts. Very important topic. In our last session, we discussed what is chart of account. So chart of account is nothing but list of GL accounts that we are going to use in our company code. Okay, what do you mean by list of GL accounts? Now simple, if I want to make any accounting posting, if I want to put any accounting document, what do I need? I need something to debit, something to credit. Okay, so maybe you can say I want to debit the expense account and credit the bank account. But if you want to debit something, if you want to credit something, the first thing that you need is accounts. Okay, so whenever you are going for any implementation project, whenever you are visiting any customer and you are trying to understand what exactly is their business, you have to make sure that you know what are the GL accounts that they will be using. Okay, and how will you find out which are the number of GL accounts that this company will need? Let's say you are visiting a customer and you want to understand from the customer what is their business, and according to that you want to finalize what are the number of GL accounts that they will need. What is the best way to identify the GL accounts? How many GL accounts they will need? Where do we start? Just think about practically. See, whenever I'm asking you any questions, it has nothing to do with SAP. I'm just talking about the layman term. If you even go for implementation of Tally also, you have to follow the same thing. How will you know which GL accounts will be required by this customer?
Depending upon the length of GL account number.
No, length of GL account number is different thing. That you are talking about the SAP terminologies. What I am asking you is how many GL accounts will be required and which GL accounts will be required. What are the different kind of expenses that this customer
Yeah,
is
fine.
looking for?
That information
Uh,
will give by customer.
Information will
based
be given to the customer,
No,
but
actually
is
we'll
there
be
any?
having five, right?
based on the
It's
financial statement, we can see previous
Okay, based on
documents,
the financial
previous
statement that is
documents of the client. We can assume how many GLs, what kind of GLs we required. We can find out from
okay.
those documents.
Yes, that is one thing. Based on the financial statements which are already for the previous years, we can identify what are the number of GL accounts that they will need. What else? See, customer is implementing SAP for the first time. He's not doing the business for the first time. If he's using Tally, In Tally, he has already the list of GL accounts, right? Each and every kind of expense, each and every kind of bank, he has already created in the Tally. If he's using Excel, even in Excel, he must be those GL accounts. So what we normally ask the customer whenever we are going for any new implementation, yes, we not business transaction, we ask them, can you give us the list of all those ledgers that you are currently using in your system? Okay, so we first get the list of the GL accounts which they are currently using in their system. Okay, and then we try to understand whether same GLs will be required in SAP. Maybe in some cases we may need to have more GL accounts in SAP, because in SAP the postings are triggering from multiple different modules. Okay, so maybe sometimes we need to recommend them that, okay, in addition to 100 GL accounts that you provided, we are also going to create 20 additional GL accounts because that are required from the integration point of view. Okay, at the same time, it may also happen that customer has created 10 GL accounts, but we can tell the customer that why unnecessarily you have created 10 GL accounts. In SAP, this task can be achieved in 5, right? So the starting point is getting the list of GL accounts from the customer. Once we got the list, then we can decide which GL accounts we are going to enter in the system and which GL accounts are not required. Okay, so this list of GL accounts, can you just name some list? Just try to summarize what would be the different kind of GL accounts that you will get.
Cash, bank.
So cash, bank, bank is a group, right? Within bank, we'll have ICICI Bank account number, this one, right? For each and every account, you'll be creating different GL account, right?
Yes.
So second is maybe HDFC Bank account number, whatever, XXX,
Sundry
right?
debtor.
Purchases, sales.
Okay, so sales account, again sales, you can have operating sales, non-operating sales, right? Sales from the goods, sales from goods, sales from services, right? What else? Sundry creditors. Again, sundry creditors, we can have domestic, right? Sundry creditors, we can have
Debitors. Okay.
foreign, right? Same way we can have sundry debtors. Okay, sundry creditors also we can have internal. So these are external, out of group, right? But we can have also sundry creditors. Internal. Okay, sundry debtors. I'll just copy this. So this is domestic, this is foreign, and this is internal. Okay, what else?
Administration expenses.
Sorry?
Discount allowed, discount received.
Outstanding
Discounts,
expenses.
discounts received.
Purchases account.
Okay, purchases,
Outstanding expenses.
outstanding expenses,
Administration expenses like salaries, rent,
right?
electricity charges.
Admin expenses,
And also we
admin,
have one-time sundry debtors, right?
salaries. Yes, you can have one time, so we can create separately also. Yes, that is fine. We can have travel expenses,
Can we add assets?
marketing
Assets.
expenses, assets. Okay, within assets again, within assets we can have, okay, within assets we can have buildings,
And
machinery,
as well as depreciation.
depreciation, which is again an expense. Okay, so you got the idea. You might get the list of 200, 300 GL accounts from the customer. Okay, it is very common. Around 200, 300 GL accounts from the customer is very common thing. So customer will give the list of the GL accounts. That these are the GL accounts that I want to create. Now, in SAP, you can also group these accounts into the logical groups. Okay, now how many groups are required? That totally depends upon the customer. But normally we try to group them in the logical grouping. Can you tell me what would be the logical grouping here? How you want to see your financial statement? Let's say if I want to generate my financial statement, so first would be balance sheet. Okay, within balance sheet, or maybe first will be profit and loss and then the balance sheet. So let's say profit and loss. Within profit and loss, which are the two sides we have?
Expenses and income.
Expenses and incomes. Now, can you tell me out of this above accounts, which are related to expenses and which are related to incomes?
Sales is incomes and expenditure is like expenses,
Okay,
salaries,
so
traveling expenses,
Salaries
marketing.
expenses, traveling expenses, marketing
right. So
expenses.
yeah, let's say within expenses, if I divide this into the groupings. So in the expenses, let's say I will talk about the uh, HR expenses. Okay, within HR expenses, what I will get? Number one, I will get maybe salaries. Okay, so this salaries is going to be my GL account. Okay, this is group. This is not a GL account. This is a logical grouping of the GL accounts. So I'll get salaries, I'll get bonuses, right? I will get incentives, I'll get wages. So these are all GL accounts. Okay, but they are logically grouped into the HR expenses. Similarly, I can come to the admin expenses. So within admin expenses, again, what I will get is I will get maybe this is not the GL account. Instead of admin, we can say travel expense. Okay, logical is a grouping. We can say refreshment expense,
Or printing and
right?
stationery.
Stationery, that is also office expenses, stationery, whatever. So we need to club them in the logical grouping, right? You got the idea now what is grouping? Why I'm telling you is because in SAP, whenever I'm going to set up a chart of account, we need to understand what is account group. We need to create the account groups there. Okay, so that should be logical grouping. Now, this grouping, you can get it from your business, from the customer, or you can also recommend that, okay, based on your GL accounts, these are the logical groupings that I came up with. If you want to make any changes, you tell us, we will create accordingly. Okay, so now what I'll show you is how to set up this chart of accounts in SAP. So for that, I will go to IMG again. I told you before a user is able to post any transaction, all the work that is done by the consultant, that will be done using SPRO IMG. Okay, so in order to create a GL account, in order to create a chart of account, not the GL account, I will go to financial accounting. Let's close all these other things which are open. So within financial accounting, there is general ledger accounting. Okay, open on this one, master data, GL accounts, preparation, and edit chart of account list. Click on this edit chart of account list. Don't worry about the paths. Okay, all the paths are mentioned there. Okay, and I want to create a new chart of account. So new entry. Again, I'll give the same. Maybe see now I have two company codes, ABC India, ABC US. I can create one chart of account, and same chart of account I can assign to both company codes. Okay, which means I don't need to unnecessarily create two separate chart of accounts. I can create one. So how this decision will be taken, whether you want to create one chart of account or two separate chart of account for company code. If you are looking for the consolidation of company codes, if you are looking for the consolidated reports of both the company codes in one chart of account, then it is recommended to create one chart of account. Okay, so I'll create one chart of account and I will assign this chart of account to both company codes. So instead of ABCI and ABCU, I am just creating ABC, but it is already created. So ABC0 maybe. Okay, I'm just giving the code as ABC0. So this is my common chart of accounts for ABC chemicals, which means for India and US, I'm using same chart of account. Okay, maintenance language. In which language are you going to maintain this chart of account? So normally we go for English, but if you are going for any European projects, okay, there, if you are going for the German project, they may select the maintenance language as German. If you are going in the France, they will maintain the maintenance language in French. Okay, and then you have this length of GL account number. So whenever you are going to create a GL account, it will generate a number. What number you want? What is the total length that you want? You want a GL for the 4 characters or 6 characters or 8 characters? So SAP supports up to 10 characters. 10 is the maximum limit. You cannot create any GL account in SAP with more than 10 characters. This is also a very important question for exam. Every time, most of the time they ask this question, what is the maximum length of the GL account number? So it is 10 characters. Even in ECC, it was 10 characters. Okay, so I will use only 4 because we are not going to create many GLs, but if a company is planning to create many GLs, they can go for 10 also. Again, this decision is totally based on their current system. So if in Delhi, if they are using 10 characters, they will say, I want to use the same numbers. Okay, so that can be decided by the business. Okay, group chart of account, as of now, don't worry about this. We will talk about this later on. Again, if you worked on SAP ECC, there was one more field in ECC system. In ECC, there was one more field here. Can you just tell me, anyone, what was that field?
Controlling integrations, manual creation of cost elements, and automation creation of cost elements.
Right. So there was one more field. If you want, I can, let me see if I show you ECC also. ECC is not configured here. Just give me a minute. You are able to see my screen, right? Complete screen, not only server. You can see this, right? Okay. So in ECC, if I show you the same thing, how can I go? I can go via the transaction code directly. Let's see what are the transaction code. So in order to create the chart of account, the transaction code is OB13. Okay, you can click here so that it will appear here. So instead of going through the path, SPRO path, if you directly write OB13, it will open the same thing. So if I show you OB13 in ECC system, okay, there are a lot of chart of accounts which are already created. If I double click on any one, see there is this integration, controlling integration. So maintenance language, length of GL account number, consolidation, this all we can see, but this integration we are not able to see there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this integration is not appearing here. Yeah. What is the reason? The reason is again same. Integration between FI and CO. So FI was different, CO was different. In ECC, FI and CO, they were two separate components. So whenever we are creating a GL account in FI, we have to create a cost element in CO. So it was asking, system was asking us whether this cost element should be created automatically or you want to do it manually. So if I select that the cost element should be created automatically, system will automatically create a cost element for any new GL account created. Okay, but now since FI and CO are merged, there is no separate FI and CO anymore. That is the reason we don't need to tell the system whether the cost element will be created or not. That will be automatically created whenever we are creating a GL account. There is no option available now. Okay, and that is the reason that field is not appearing here. That is the only change if you compare within ECC and S4. Okay, so you specified your maintenance language, you specified the length of the GL account number, which cannot be more than 10 characters. Okay, and click on save. So we created the chart of account ABC0, but we just created it. We have still not defined any GL accounts. Second is, once we create the chart of account, how our company codes will know that which chart of account we need to follow. So we need to assign the company code to chart of accounts. So our two company codes, that is ABCI and ABCU, both will be assigned to ABC0. Okay, because we created a common chart of account for both. So ABC0 and ABC0. Both our company codes are assigned to same common chart of account for the consolidation purpose. Save it. This is also done. So now our chart of account is created. It is assigned to our company code. Next one is define the account groups. I told you what are account groups. So logical groupings. So let's try to find out what are the logical groupings here. Okay, so cash is in itself a separate logical group, or maybe I'll create a cash and bank as one logical group. So ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank will fall under this group, cash and bank, right? Sales, this is revenue grouping, right? So sales from goods, sales from services, these are all my revenues. So they will come under the revenue grouping. Sundry creditors, domestic, foreign, internal, these are all my, we can say, short-term liabilities, or so short-term liabilities, right? So all of them are my short-term liabilities. Sundry debtors, current assets, they will come under current assets, right? So these are my current assets. Discounts given.
Expenditure.
Discounts given means expenses, right? It is expense for us. Discounts received, it is also revenue. We received something, so it is a revenue. Purchases is also expense, right? Outstanding expenses is liability. Outstanding expenses, which means we done the expense but we need to pay outstanding. So it is short-term liability. Are you getting it? Any questions on this? Please ask. If you are not able to understand anything, please ask. Refreshment expenses is again expenses. Salaries is also expenses. Travel expense is also expense. Marketing expense is also expense. Assets, furniture is
Fixed asset.
fixed. This is fixed assets. So within assets, we have two groupings: current assets, fixed assets. So fixed assets, even assets building is also fixed assets. Depreciation is expenses. Okay, so these are the logical groupings. We need to create this many groups in account groups in chart of accounts. So what we can do here is we will click on the new entry. So for our chart of account, which is ABC0, okay, we will create account group. We'll start with liabilities. So within liabilities, we have short-term liabilities, and we have not created anything for share capital, right? So let's say share capital is our one grouping. So normally logical, we also need to give the accounts numbers logical numberings. So let's say, for example, all my share capitals will start from 1, or all my liabilities will start from 1. So from 1000 to 1999 are my liabilities. Within that, I will divide those accounts into different groupings. So for example, ABC0, I will start with share capital. Okay, and whenever I'm going to create a share capital GL account, it will fall in 1000 to 11 or 1099. Okay, so all my share capital related GLs will have these numbers. 4 numbers, right? I provided in the chart of account that my length of the GL account will be 4. ABC0, This will be short-term liabilities. Okay, so 1100 to 119. Again ABC 0. Now within assets, let's go with the assets. So in the assets, I have current assets, I have fixed assets, and I have cash and bank. These are all my assets, right? So let's say cash and bank. Assets, I'll start from 2. So 2000 to 2099, right? Again ABC 0. I'll go with current assets. Okay, and current assets, I'll start from 2100 to 2199. ABC 0, this is going to be my fixed assets. Okay, so 2200 to 2299. Okay, so these groups completely depends upon the customer. There are some customers who will ask you to only create 10-15 groups. There are some other customers who will ask you hundreds of account groups. So it is totally the decision of the customer how many groupings they want to create. Okay, so within assets we are done. Let's see cash bank, cash bank. Yes.
These account groups are there, no?
Mm-hmm.
Is from account to account. This number, as a consultant, we had to decide in the real time, or while we do implementation, we had to
No.
discuss with the client. So
We have
many
to discuss. See, whatever we are doing, see, just understand one thing. Whatever we are doing in the implementation project, this is we are just the consultants. We don't have any authority to decide anything. Okay, we can always recommend. We can always recommend that, okay, normally we go for 1 for liability, 2 for asset, whatever is your recommendation. You can always recommend it, but it is totally the responsibility of the customer to decide what numbers they want. Okay, so maybe in their current system they are already using some number logic and they don't want to get rid of that. They want the same numbers to be used in SAP also. So you have to follow that on.
Can we take any number?
Any number, 10 digits number, whatever you can have. It will be maximum 10 digits.
with the consideration of future requirement. So initial state itself, can we increase the number?
Sorry?
Hello. No, with the consideration of future requirement, because now we have given 4 digit, right? So in future might be increase what we got account group or GL accounts. So initially, can we suggest to client to better to give instead of 4 digit, if we give
Yes,
5 digit, 6 digit, it will be useful.
definitely. It is always a better idea to provide whatever maximum is available in SAP. For testing purpose, we are using 4 digits, but if a customer is having a lot of GL, it's always a better idea to the suggestion that go for the maximum number.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the expenses. Let's say my expenses will start from 4. So 4000 because I don't have further criteria of expenses. Definitely you can have in the customers, you will find within expenses they have 10 different groups. But I'm creating one, so I'm providing the entire number range starting with 400 to 4999. Again in ABC 0, we can again this is revenue. So in revenue also you can say, okay, these are my operating revenue and these are my non-operating revenue. So totally depends. I'm creating one. So revenues will be starting with 3000 to 3999. Okay. And one last one, which is ABC0. Now, this particular thing, what I'm creating now, this was not required in ECC. Because as I told you, in ECC, there were two different components, FI and CO. Now FI and CO is one single component, which means we need to create the GL accounts also for CO adjustments, controlling adjustments. In ECC, we were never creating the GL account for the controlling adjustments. So you can say secondary cost. Okay, ABC 0. What is secondary cost? These are the costs which are triggered from CO. secondary cost elements, and normally we completely divide this. That is the reason, in order for the easy identification, we start from 9. So starting with 9 are our secondary cost elements, which will be only used for the CO postings. Okay, in ECC we were not creating the secondary cost element as GL account, but in S/4HANA the secondary cost elements also need to be created as the GL accounts. Okay, so we created how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Gaurav,
Yes.
in a group, even can we create one more GL group like reserve and surplus, reserves and surplus, right? Is there
Yes,
any
yes,
group
yes.
like?
Then you can create whatever number of account groups you want. This is just for example. What I created is just for example. You can create any number of groups as long as you have sufficient GLs to enter in. It should not happen that you are creating one group for one GL. That should not happen. If you have the logical
Yeah.
grouping, and surplus, if you have more than 5 people, then definitely you can create it.
Okay. Is this the GL is a mandatory? This group reserve and surplus at the time of year-end activities or?
See, no group is mandatory. I can create the GLs with easier reporting,
Okay.
easily identify of which GL is what. So for example, if I tell you my GL account is 2200, automatically you will access it because we provided that number in. But if you just create one GL, then it will be very difficult for us to identify what is the type of that GL.
Okay.
Okay, we are getting error because we tried to create two account groups. So maybe I'll create this as CO, which is controlling related postings. Okay, and now it is allowing. Just click on enter. So now our account groups are also created. So what we have done in the chart of account, first we created one chart of account. Okay, in this edit chart of account list, we created ABC 0. What we have done in ABC 0, we told the system that we are going to use 4 digits and our maintenance language is going to be English, right? Then we assign this, then we assign this chart of account to our company codes. 2 company codes are assigned to the same chart of account, and then we created different account groups. Okay, next one is we need to define the retained earning account. Any idea what is retained earning account? There is some background noise. Can you mute yourself, please, if you don't have any questions? Yeah. Any idea what is retained earning account?
Retained
Okay.
earning thing, but see, it is used for the purpose of year-end activity. Suppose like P&L is there, no net profit, net loss. In the P&L statement to transfer this net profit, net loss account to balance sheet. For that
Okay.
purpose, we are defining this retained earning.
Okay. Yes, you are correct. Any other answers to simplify this? What do you mean by retained earning? I'm just asking. I'm not asking anything about SAP. Just your basic accounting knowledge. What is retained earning account? The name itself, retained earnings. Earnings is what? Profit. Retained means what? See, let's say you open a business today. Okay. Let me give this example here. Okay, company ABC has opened business today. In 2018, they made total profit of 10,000 USD. Okay. Now out of this 10,000, they given 5,000 as a dividend to shareholders. Okay. Now they made the profit of 10,000, out of which they shared their profit with the shareholders by giving 5,000 dividend. Now still they are left with 5,000. This 5,000 will be used for growth of the company. This 5,000 is not going to go out of the company. That will be used as a balance available in order for the company to grow, right? So whatever profit has been generated in 2018, if I want to carry forward it as the investment for 2019, that would be called as a retained earning. So what happens is at the year end, when you close year 2018, when you perform the balance carry forward, you have to perform the balance carry forward, which means whatever is the closing balance of 2018 will become opening balance of 2019. Okay, but that is true for the balance sheet accounts. So for example, at the end of the month, my stock was, again, end of 2018, stock was 10,000. AP balances, which means I need to pay to the vendors, was 5,000. AR balance, which means I need to collect from the customer, was 6,000. Okay, profit or maybe sales that I made throughout the year was 25,000. And expenses that I made in the last year was 18,000 or 15,000. That is the reason I made the profit of 10,000, right? And finally, I given the dividends to my shareholders for 10,000. Now, when I perform the balance carry forward, what will be migrated to beginning of, what will be the opening balance of 2019? So can you tell me what will be the opening balance of all these GL accounts? This was the closing balance. So on 31st March 2019, the closing balance of the stock was 10,000. What do you think? What would be the opening balance? At the end of the business operations on 31st March, the stock, in my stock, I had 10,000 worth of stock available in my inventory. So what do you think? What would be my opening balance? It would be same 10,000, right? Whatever was my closing balance, that will be my opening balance. AP, I was about to give 5,000 to my vendors. Okay, I am liable to pay 5,000 to my vendors on 31st March. So what would be my opening balance for AP? It would be same 5,000, right? AR, it was 6,000. So again, I need to recover 6,000. Now sales, 25,000 was the sales that I made in that particular year. Am I going to transfer this balance? The sales was done in the previous year. In this year, I have not done any sales. So I'm not going to transfer this 25,000 here, right? Sales is going to be zero. Expense, I just started. I have not done any expense till now. Zero. I have not given any dividend to my shareholders. So this will be zero. So what will happen to this then? Where exactly this accounts will go? Where exactly this amounts will go?
Retained earning income.
Yeah, dividends we gave 5,000, right? Not the 10,000. 10,000 was total profit, out of which we given the dividends of 5,000. So total sales was 25,000, expense was 15,000, which means we made 10,000 as profit. Then we given 5,000 to the dividend as a shareholder. So remaining 5,000, which we need to record here, will come into the retained earning. Retained earning is 5,000. So in short, your balance sheet accounts, when you perform the balance carry forward, they will get the same balances as that of closing balance. But all your profit and loss accounts, you will perform the calculation, whatever is the profit or loss, it can be loss also. Whatever is profit and loss, that will be transferred as a retained earning. Okay, and this retained earning account is what? Profit and loss or balance sheet? Retained earning account is a balance sheet account. It cannot be profit and loss. Profit and loss is for a particular year. Retained earning is something which will carry on for further years also. So retained earning account is kind of current asset, or maybe whatever asset or liability, but it is a balance sheet account. Okay, so we have to tell the system which retained earning account, like whenever we are making any profit and loss, in which retained earning account the balance will be transferred. Okay, so that activity we have to define here. But as of now, we have still not created any GL account. So retained earning account is not created. So for our chart of account, which is ABC0, here just enter X. I'll tell you why later on. Okay, and here you need to provide the retained earning account. But since we have not created the retained earning account, what we will do, we will just provide X and try to save. System will issue the warning message. This yellow means warning message. It is asking us you have not entered the account, but I'll say okay. Just press enter and it will allow you to save. So once we create the GL accounts, then we will come here and we will assign the retained earning account. As of now, we don't have any GL, right? So now we are ready with our chart of account. Our chart of account is ready. Now we can go and create this GL accounts. So we already created the groups, we already assigned the chart of account to our company code. Now we can just go and create this GL accounts. So we can create a GL account as cash, we can create a GL account as bank, we can create a GL account for sales. Okay, and this creation of GL accounts, it is a master data, it is not a configuration. Okay, because end user can also create the GL accounts. Maybe first time when we are going for the implementation project, at that time we will not ask the user to create the GL account because he will be providing us a list we will be creating for him. But going forward, whenever he wants to create a new GL account, he should not come to us. He should be able to create his GL account on his own, right? And that is the reason this is not creation of GL account is no more SPRO. Creation of GL account can be done from this easy access screen, which is available to the end users also. Okay, so you can go to accounting. Okay, within this you can go to financial accounting, general ledger, master records, GL accounts, individual processing, and this transaction. FS00 allows you to create a new GL account. So if I double click on this, okay, there is a new button here, create button. So just tell the system which GL account you want to create. So what I want to create currently, let's say I want to create ICICI Bank account number 101. Okay, so what is the account group that we provided for cash and bank accounts? If you go to SPRO, or the transaction code is OBD4 for account groups. Okay, don't worry about transaction codes as of now. Whenever you are practicing, automatically just try to do the practice via transaction codes, that will come to your mind. Okay, so our chart of account is ABC0. So for cash and bank, our account will start from 2000 to 2099. So which means I will create the cash and bank account with 2000 as first GL account. And I want to create this in company code ABCI. Okay, so this is a create button. Click on create. What it is saying is, it is showing one error. Company code ABCI is not assigned to field status variant. So if you remember, I told you we need to assign 4 variants to our company code. Which variants we already assigned? We assigned the fiscal year variant. We assigned the posting period variant. And last one we just now assigned is chart of account. So we are left with one more, that is called as field status variant. Okay, what is field status? So that you will not be able to understand now. Only just follow what I am doing. Later on, I will tell you what exactly we have done when we do the transactions. So I'll go to IMG, financial accounting global settings, ledgers, fields, define the field status variant, assign the field status variant. So in define field status variant, I will copy this 0001. Just select this 0001, click on this copy button. Okay, and whatever code you want to give. So I want to give ABC 0. If I want to assign the same, I can assign the same field status variant to both the company codes. So I'll create ABC 0, enter. You will get this message, click on copy all. Okay, so 46 entries are copied. Let's enter and save it. Okay, so we created field status variant ABC 0. Next one is we need to assign it to the company code. So I'll go for company code ABCI and ABCU, and I'll assign the field status variant ABC 0 here also. Okay, I'll tell you what is field status variant, why we assign that, because that you will be able to understand when we try to post some documents. Okay, so now if I go back, I was getting this message. Now I should be able to proceed. Let's try to create. Okay, now it is allowing me to create the account. Okay, so now I need to provide the description, short text, what is this account. But before that, there are some mandatory fields. First one is GL account type. Again, if you are coming from ECC background, in ECC this field was not there at all. GL account type field was not there at all. Okay, why? Again, the reason is same. FI and CO were two separate components. There was a separate master data for FI and CO. Now in S4HANA, as I told you, this screen that we are using is not only for FI master data. This screen is also going to be used for the CO objects also, cost element also. So whenever you want to tell the system that I want to create a cost element, similar to GL account in FI, in CO you have a cost element. Okay, so whenever you want to make any debit credit postings in FI, you use GL account. Whenever you want to use any debit credit entry in CO, you have to use cost element. So if you want to tell the system that I want to create a cost element in the background, then you have to tell the system create this GL account as a primary cost or revenue. Then system will create a CO master data also automatically in the background. But for balance sheet account, this is our balance sheet account, right? For balance sheet account, we don't need anything in CO. Controlling is all about expenses and revenues. So for balance sheet, we can just go here and we can select the balance sheet account. Okay, account group, it will show you whatever account groups we created. So these are the account groups that we created. It is asking whether this is falling under cash and bank, or it is a current asset, or it is a fixed asset. So whatever is suitable, just select it. Now I provided this number 2000. If I try to use any other, let's say current assets, I will get this error that for current assets, the number range is 2100 to 2199. It will not allow me to create the GL account with any other number which is not determined in this account group. Okay, so I have to change this to cash and bank, and the error will go away. Okay, so this is ICICI Bank, whatever is the account number, 101. Okay, so this is the short text that you can give. This is restricted to 20 characters. If your number is too big or something like that, then you can use this, which is 50 characters. Okay, so if you don't enter anything here, whatever you entered here will get copied. Short text, long text. So these are the different tabs in the GL master data. So in the type description tab, you have to specify the account type, account group, short and long text. This is not required as of now. Click on control data. In control data, it will ask you the currency, which by default it will pick the company code currency. So if you try to create a same GL account in ABCU, it will show you USD, right? So it will automatically pick the company code currency. And then all these fields are optional. Okay, as of now, no need to worry. We will see this one by one when we try to understand the processes. In create bank interest tab, you have to specify the field status group. So just click on this button. This is called as list of values. It will show you whatever is already available. Okay, so whatever is most suitable, you are creating for bank. So for bank, you should go for G005. Okay, that's it. Just try to save this and this GL account will be created. This is a warning message. You can ignore. Just press enter. Okay, so this GL account has been created.
Gaurav,
Yes.
in the first tab, type and description is there, no? There is an option trading, right? Below of the screen. Trading partner.
Trading partner. Yes.
So what is the purpose of this? We have
If you remember on day one, I told you there is a difference between company code and company. If you remember this, let me
yes,
take
yes.
you to this. Okay, so I told you don't get confused with this company code and company. When you open this company, it is trading partner. Okay, so I told you this option we use only when if you do the transaction intercompany. So ABC US is sending some goods to ABC India. ABC India is doing some service for ABC US. So only in that case you need to use the trading partner functionality. Okay, so for example, need a GL account, and let's say this GL account is related, we're creating for ABC India, but it is meant for ABC US. Then you will be entering the trading partner of ABC US. But it is only for intercompany transactions. So as of now, since we are not discussed about intercompany, don't need to worry about this. But later on, we have this topic of company transactions. There I'll explain you what is trading partner.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so similar to the GL account that we created for bank, we will try to create one more GL account. Okay, this time for, let's see what are the account groups that we defined. Expenses we specified 4000, right? So I'll create one GL account for travel expenses. So I'll go for this 4000, click on new. Okay, again it will ask me which account type. So this is primary cost or revenue, because travel expenses I want to send the values to CO also. Whenever I'm making any travel expense, I want the system to know this travel expense belongs to admin or HR or IT or sales, so that I can track who is making more expenses. So primary cost or revenue, account group would be expenses. Right here I will write travel expense. In control data, whenever you are selecting primary cost or revenue, whenever you are selecting this GL account type primary cost or revenue, because system is trying to create a cost element also in the background, you have to go to the control data, and there is something called as sorry, it is still not appearing because we have still not created the controlling area. We have not set up anything for CO as of now. Okay, so maybe this one, tomorrow we will introduce what is controlling area, how FI is integrated with CO, how the postings from FI will flow to CO. Whenever you are creating a GL account, why you need to create a cost element also. So those things I will introduce tomorrow. Okay, so what we understood today, what is chart of account, and within the posting period variant, what are the other two intervals. Okay, so just to summarize, can you tell me what are the three intervals in OB52 screen posting period variant? First one is for what, second one is for what, and third one is for what?
First one is
for
for,
the, yeah, go ahead.
first one is for the current periods which you are using, and second one will be for the special periods in case of any adjustments required, and the third case will be already defined the phase of the control account.
Right. The first one is for normal periods 1 to 12. Second one is for special periods, which is 13 to 16. And third one is for postings which are triggered from CO. Right?
Yeah.
Then what is the chart chart of account is nothing but list of accounts.
List
Okay.
of account.
Now when yes, chart of account is nothing but list of account. When we create the chart of account, system asks us what is the maintenance language and what is going to be the length of the GL account number, which is maximum of 10 characters. This option, which was available in ECC, is no more available because there is no separate need to create a cost element. And then once our chart of account is created, we need to assign it to our company code. We need to create the account. These are the logical groups. The fourth step is define the retained earning account. Okay, what is retained earning account? So whenever we perform the balance carry forward from last year to the new year, in that case, whatever is the balance in the balance sheet account is transferred as it is, but whatever is the balance in the profit and loss accounts, it is calculated and the remaining balance is transferred to the retained earning account.
Is it
Gaurav,
Otherwise, what will be the profit? How will be
Gaurav
yes,
Mohammed Shaikh.
yeah.
Under OB 13, no, T code, chart of account. So
Yes.
as we created two company codes, no, one is India, another is other country.
No, I created one chart of account for both the company codes. That is what is a variant principle? Variant principle means whatever variants you are creating, fiscal year variant, posting period variant, chart of account, field status variant, you can create once and you can assign it to the multiple company codes. So that is the reason we on one chart of account for both the company codes.
No, my question is like one chart of account can we assign to other company code, which
That is
is
exactly what we have done. That is exactly what we have done, right? We assigned one chart of account to two company codes.
no, but what I heard because another company code belongs to other country, right? So those cases, if we assign same chart of account to other company codes, which is belongs to other country, is there any problem in the financial statement or at the time of postings?
No.
Can we
Actually,
use?
to be frank, if you go to the most of the bigger companies who are using SAP, they have thousands of companies, thousands of company codes, but they are using one single chart of account. Okay, so it is always better to use one single chart of account rather than creating the separate chart of account for each company code.
Okay, no,
Okay,
because
yes.
we created fiscal year also, no? We assigned different V3, K4 for the different years because that indicates that financial year belongs to yeah, our Indian clients are April to March because other countries that is a Jan to December. There will be conflict, right? Any errors as a consultant when they implement.
No. See, chart of account has no relevancy to fiscal year variant. Chart of account is just the list of GL accounts. Whenever you are making the posting, it totally depends upon which fiscal year variant you are using, but it has no relevance with the chart of account. Chart of account and fiscal year variant, these are two separate things. And as I told you, most of the bigger companies, whenever you go and see any bigger client, you will find they are using the same chart of account for all companies.
Okay.
Easy to get the consolidated report, yes. So if you are following the same chart of account, global chart of account, then the uniform reports that you can create at the consolidated level, that would be very good report. If you are allowing each company to create their own chart of account, then there will be lot of lot of data redundancy. GL account
So,
is already created, but still someone else will go and create another GL account. So there will be lot of garbage data in your chart of accounts.
so in this case, suppose same chart of account used by the different countries company code. So is there any compulsory those company codes are should use same GL accounts? Just now we created GL's account, no, under GL master.
No,
So same GL account
no,
has to created by the same company code. Is there any condition?
Yes, see, normally whenever you are creating, let's say for example, travel expense. Okay, let's say salaries. Now this salaries, travel expenses, this will be created by all the company codes, right? So one GL account you created salary, same will be shared by multiple company codes. But let's say you are creating the bank account 101. Now this bank account 101 is not for all company codes. It is only for the specific company code. So most of the GL accounts are created at the one level, like one GL account will be used by multiple company codes, but there are exceptions, bank accounts, and there are some other accounts which are country specific, which are company code specific. So those don't need to be created for all the company codes. Only those GL accounts which are common will be created for all company codes.
Okay. Now it means that the chart of account what you have created, it is a company code specific, right? Or client specific?
I created chart of account is client specific. What chart of account we created at the client, and then we assigned it to the company code.
Okay, same chart of account.
Same chart of account.
That different company codes.
Right.
Okay, fine. Gaurav, one more thing. As I said, discussed retained earning account, no? It is one of the part of year-end activity or at the time of year-end. So, the FI consultant, when we have to perform this stuff?
See, as a FI consultant, we are not going to perform this step. Balance carry forward is a end user activity.
No, this stuff we created, no one configuration step.
This needs to be done initially itself before you hand over the system to the client.
Okay.
Whatever we have done, this we have to do before end user does any transaction.
Yeah.
So this step we have to give at the implementation time, but ultimately at the end of the year, the user will be responsible to carry out the balance carry forward.
Okay. Fine. But it means initial stage we have to do this stuff, no? In the time of implementation.
Whatever we are doing, this is one time. We are doing at the time of implementation.
Okay. Fine.
Vikram. Hello. Vikram, I have a question. While creating chart of account, there is one field called group chart of accounts. So what is the purpose of that?
I'll talk about that. That is a topic that we are going to discuss. So as I told you, if you want to generate the consolidated report for multiple company codes, okay, let's say you have company codes, and what I can do is I can create a same chart of account so that I can get the consolidated report. But due to some reason, let's say these two company codes are saying, no, we want our own chart of account. So in that case, how will you generate the group level reporting? So what we do normally is, in addition to the chart of account that these companies are using, we will create additional group chart of accounts, which will be used for the consolidation purpose. Okay, if you understood, fine. If you're not understood, don't worry. We are going to discuss this topic. What is group chart of account? What is country chart of account?
Yeah,
Gaurav?
Yes.
Sorry for asking one more time regarding group chart of account. So, as per the requirement of the client, if we create a group chart of account, so we have to create account groups also for the group chart of account in the real time.
For group account, definitely you have to create the account groups.
Separately, we had to define.
Yes. You have to define.
Okay, fine.
Okay, any other questions before we close today?
Vikram, I did not get the material and the recordings. Who will send the things?
You are coordinating with Krishna, right? Krishna will send you those things.
Okay.
I'll ask him to do. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions or Can we close?
Yeah.
This week.
Okay then. Thank you. Yeah, we'll meet tomorrow again, same time, 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.